I'm going to show you how to tailor your resume to a specific job posting so that it matches all the keywords they're looking for, and the hiring managers will be much more excited to bring you in for an interview. Now, if you're not hearing back on job applications, it's because hundreds of people are applying to most online job postings, and it is tough to stand out. However, if you put even just 5 minutes into carefully tailoring your resume for each job that you apply to, it is going to make a huge difference. You're going to see a lot more interviews coming your way and will get a great new job so much faster. In this video, I'm going to talk you through where to find all of the keywords you need to put in your resume, how to best work those keywords into your resume in a natural but evident way, how to brand yourself for a specific job on your resume, and how to make your most relevant skills and accomplishments for each job you're applying to really pop, including also sharing how to arrange your bullet points in a way where the best stuff is coming up first so the hiring managers can see that while we still have their attention. And finally, I'm going to give you some tips on what to absolutely not do so that your resume doesn't get thrown straight in the trash. And we're going to do all of this on a real resume using a real job description so you can see exactly how it's done step by step in real time. And if you stick around until the end, I am going to tell you exactly how you can enter for a chance to win a free resume review from me. By the way, I'm Greg Langstaff. I'm a certified resume strategist, and I am on a mission to get as many people as possible into great new jobs that they will love. So let's get started. Now, when we apply to jobs, there are 2 checkpoints that we need to get through. First, there is the ATS scanner, which is a software that's reviewing our resume for years experience, our professional background, and the keywords that we're putting into our resume. Then once we get through that phase, there will be a phase where an actual human being is looking at our resume, and they need to see that we have certain skills and that we have impressive accomplishments as well. So we are tailoring our resume to get through both of those checkpoints in this process. Now it's pretty easy, so let's just dive in and I'll show you exactly what it looks like. First, we will pull up the job description that we want to apply to, and we're going to read through it carefully, looking for a few things that we're going to highlight. Those things are obviously the job title, any professional skills or actual tasks and duties that they're going to require for us to do in the job, any equipment or software that we're going to be needing to use in this role, and then any other words or terminology that really feels like a key component to the role, or something that if you were hiring for this role, you would want to see in the candidates that you were choosing for an interview. Once we have identified these top skills and keywords, we're going to integrate them into our resume in a couple of ways. So we'll work them into our professional branding, and I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. And then we're also going to make sure that we are being attentive to these skills when we're choosing which bullet points we want to include in our resume, and also which ones we want to prioritize to the top of each job. So as you'll see on the right, we have some professional branding in our existing resume, but it doesn't line up with the keywords in the job description. Now this is a pretty easy fix now that we've highlighted what those keywords are. So for our professional title here, we want it to align as closely as we can to the actual job title, if that's appropriate. So I would switch that to business development strategist, key account manager. Great. Same goes for our professional summary. We just want to work in, again, the job title if we can, and a few of the other keywords that we found here. Don't worry about stuffing every single one of these keywords into our professional summary, because this is just setting the tone. So prioritize a few of your higher level keywords or skills from within the job posting that you feel you're strongest with, and lead with those. So I would replace that with something like this. You can see each sentence is addressing probably 2 or 3 of the keywords that we found in the job description. Our key skills section needs a lot of work as well. This is, it's relevant to sales, this stuff, but it's not bang on with what the job's requiring. So this is kind of okay, but it might not rise to the top of the pile in an ATS setting. So I would just swap those out, and simply by replacing this with these keywords instead, we are now really setting ourselves up to be flagged by the ATS scanner as qualified, and also, more importantly, to get the hiring manager excited to then read our bullet points. And if you don't have a resume that has these nice, clean, defined areas to add all this professional branding, check out my free and premium resume templates, which I have listed down in the description below. Now, this top branding is all very important, but of course, when we actually get our resume into the hands of someone who's going to read it, we need to back up all those skills we said we had with actual examples. Now, that is what our bullet points should be for. Obviously, as we look at our job description, we want to make sure that each of the things that they are mentioning in here, we ideally have a bullet point that speaks to each of those. And if we can't speak to every single one of them, we want to prioritize the ones that we're strongest in, and of course, the ones that are coming up most frequently or seem most prevalent in the job posting. Now, of course, we could rely on them to carefully read all our bullet points and put 2 and 2 together, but we don't want to take that gamble that they're going to be paying close enough attention to do that. So we're going to make it even easier for the hiring manager to see that each of our bullet points is relevant to the actual skills they're looking for in the job by adding a short title to each one of our bullet points. 1 to 3 words written in bold that are going to help them identify what skill we're showcasing in each bullet point. Let me show you what that looks like. So I would replace or add to all of these bullet points in the first job with something that looked like this. And now you can see it's much more scannable for the reader as they're identifying if we have the skills that they are looking for. Well, we've told them right here, you need revenue generation, you need account retention, business development, sales coaching, budgeting, and forecasting. These are all skills that came up in the job posting. Well, now we've shown them directly in our resume, and if they're looking for any one of these, they can quickly find them as they're scanning. So that is a huge advantage for you in your resume as you're tailoring to each job description. And you might find that after you've done this once or twice, all you really have to do is slightly manage or slightly tailor each title to match the job description without having to revisit the entire bullet point. So very convenient for you. By the way, if you need help writing your bullet points from scratch and creating a great resume overall, check out my free resume writing course, which I've linked up here. Now, if you have bullet points in your resume that are not related to any of the key skills, that is okay. Just know that those might be a little less likely to convince the hiring manager that you are right for the job. And if you start to run out of room in your resume, those should probably be the first ones to go. Now, the last tiny thing we're going to do before we submit our job application or our resume for this job application is we're just going to highlight and rearrange our bullet points a little bit. So this business development is the top keyword in this resume. It's in the job title. It's comes up multiple times. So we want to make sure any business development bullet points are at the top of each job. Then we kind of prioritize from there. Obviously, revenue generation is critical, and we can kind of make our priority decisions from there. So that's the final step, and then you've tailored your resume to the job description. Now, I do want to address 3 huge mistakes, 3 terrible pieces of advice that I've heard around how to tailor your resume for a specific job. So I want to address each of those, and when I'm done that, I'll tell you how to enter for a chance to win that free resume review from me. So number 1, do not ever, under any circumstances, copy the job description and paste it into your resume and then hide it in size 1 white font. That will not help you. I have actually had someone try this on me personally. I found it right away because the word count in the document was egregious, and then I was able to call them out on it, and I did not trust that person moving forward. Absolutely do not do that. It will get you blacklisted from your industry. Next, we want to avoid keyword stuffing. This is the act of shoving the keywords into your resume many times. Fitting each keyword into your resume 2, 3, 4 times is going to be absolutely plenty. And some of the keywords, it's only going to make sense to have in there once or twice, and that's okay. We can get penalized by both the ATS scanner for keyword stuffing and by the actual person reading it if we do this, so you want to stay away from that. Finally, the last piece of advice I want to address is what's called using a functional resume. Now, this is a resume where we just sort of list our best skills and bullet points, kind of out of context from the jobs we've worked, and then list our job descriptions, our job titles as an afterthought. Now, this is a method of resume writing that used to be done a lot more frequently, but it's not ATS friendly, and more importantly, it's very confusing for the person reading it, so we haven't found those to be very successful at all. I would stay away from functional resume. Now, if you want to win that free resume review from me, to enter, just like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below. And for more job search help, check out my other videos on resume writing, cover letters, LinkedIn interviews, and all the other job search topics. I would love to see you over in those videos. Have a great one.